Right, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Can you believe it? It looks like it's actually going to happen. Look, we all like to make fun of Conor for all his escapades, but you've got to admit, it's exciting to think we're actually going to get the old leprechaun meth Santa back in the cage. And with all Michael Chandler's cheesiness and motivational speeches, they couldn't have picked a better dance partner for McMuscles. Whatever you think is going to happen when they get in the cage, it's going to be fun. So Chandler is finally getting his red panty night, even though we know he prefers black. And Conor's been trolling us with the party videos and all that. He didn't have a drink in his hand. It was all very well captured. He clearly just popped into the club for the footage to make it look like he was being messy. Chandler has got a bigger problem than all of that. Chandler's problem is that he already thinks he's won. Not the fight, but the situation. He's so elated that he's finally going to get to fight his favourite fighter. He can't hide it. It's what he's always wanted the minute he started talks with the UFC. It's his dream come true. Has Chandler played a number on Conor? Have all these risky performances been a ploy to entice Conor into picking him for his comeback fight? Like Usyk did when he moved up to heavyweight and looked shit on purpose to secure the Joshua fight, and then all of a sudden got much better. Do we really think that Fight IQ Forrest Gump has played that number? Even if he has, and after all these reckless, fan-friendly performances, now he's got the fight, he's all of a sudden going to turn into a different fighter. Even if that is the plan, it doesn't matter. Chandler is not Khabib. Do you not think other fighters try and get Conor down? He's not one of these fighters like Kevin Holland that could just be taken down at any point by any person and just held down. He has been taken down, yes, but he pops up against most, and he's actually got good takedown defence. Not too long ago, a well past his prime Tony Ferguson nearly finished Chandler. Go back and watch that first round. Until Chandler eventually got Tony down, Tony was absolutely piecing him up. Just make sure you don't watch past the first round, because no one needs to see that again. Another thing that's great about this matchup is that it's an almost guaranteed finish. This fight ain't going the distance. Chandler loves a barn burner, and Conor's got experience with short, stocky wrestlers and typically does well against them. If it does somehow get into the third or fourth, or fuck me, even fifth, these two are going to look very gassed out and sloppy. I know everyone's been going on about if he makes it to the cage, or I'll believe it when I see it, but Conor is going to be extremely motivated going into this fight. If Conor wins this, Conor versus Max for the BMF title at the Sphere, in my eyes, is almost definitely going to be the fight. If Conor knocks out Chandler and looks great, imagine watching Max and Conor at the Sphere bouncing around at opposite sides of the cage, looking at each other before the fight, and tell me that you're not nursing a semi. Also, if he wins against Chandler, he'll have the option of a title fight at 155 or 170. Conor has all of those opportunities in his hands with a win, and if he loses, it's all over for him. A loss to Chandler at this point in his career will completely drain any hype and excitement the fans have left for him. With all that considered, there's no way that Conor isn't taking this fight deadly seriously. Conor and Coach Kavanagh have historically been great at making bespoke game plans for each opponent, and I'm sure this fight will be getting the full works. It's been a clever move by Conor making Chandler wait so long. They've both been out of the cage so long now. The difference in inactivity between them has sort of lost its effect, putting them essentially in the same position. Yes, Chandler has been thinking about this fight every waking second of his life and training and preparing for this one moment. And Conor, on the other hand, snapped his leg, went off to film a movie, and has smashed up more lines than a ruler. But to counter that, Chandler is a bit chinny, and he's 38 and been in a lot of wars. Chandler's risked a lot waiting for this fight. It's been nearly 2 years. Think about how many fights he could have lost in exciting fashion in that time. As much as he thinks he's going to be clever, this is the biggest moment of his life, and Chandler will ultimately want to put on a show. His fight IQ is more negative than his paternity tests. With all that considered, it's a well-matched fight. It's one of those fights that depends on who shows up, but in this circumstance, it's that factor but for both sides. In my mind, Chandler's only real hope is that leg break changed Conor as a fighter. Chandler said he's planning to go in there, put a pace on Conor and drown him with cardio. That sounds great and all that, but that's not what we see Chandler do. Look back at all of his UFC fights. The truth is, he gasses out as much as Conor. Chandler should do this, and Chandler should do that. But at the end of the day, Chandler's going to go in there, and he's going to end up standing and banging with Conor. And when it gets to that point, he's going to fall into his usual rhythms and patterns, and Conor will be too prepared for that. Conor has great fight IQ, and he's going to be ready for that moment. He'll see his window in Chandler's defence that he's prepared for, and he'll land probably that left hand, knocking Chandler clean out. He's going to black out so hard he's going to want to adopt it. Anyway, if you like this video, give us a sub, check out this playlist of recent bangers. I'll see you next time.